The rest of you see Luz and Logan Pearson pull up out of the bathtub. Morgan reaches up and just starts grabbing onto all of you to pull you into this strange, wet group hug in the bathroom by the bathtub mirror portal that you have created, where you see the trap that you have made up at the top still just hanging there, and everyone is just hugging, and you see Yaz coming in and sniffing everybody, wagging excitedly, wondering why everyone is wet. Our scene opens. Our camera kind of like pushes in through a window, and who do we see and what are they doing?
Uzo is furiously like throwing things into a bag while the alarm on her phone is going off that she's put on snooze for probably the third time. Just letting it play because at this point if she turns it off again it's not happening. She's throwing stuff into a bag, just like regular tools. I think at one point she goes to reach for where her hammer usually is and it's not there, and she's like ah, and then has to find something else that would kind of work as a hammer. And then once all of the heavier stuff is in, she goes to look for like any of the graph paper plans that she usually has on her person, and you see like notes of what she could remember of what happened, and maybe like a drawing of the frame of the mirror. And she takes it reluctantly, puts it in the bag, and sprints outside, forgets her phone, sprints back in, and sprints out towards the team.
Yeah, and we just follow Uzo like down the street, all the way over to Luz's house. We see the front door open. Uzo walks in. What's the scene that we see before us?
I think Luz has pulled like all of the snack food out of their cabinets. Because it's been a minute since we've all been at Luz's house. And so they're just kind of like sprinkling it around the living room so it's in easy access of like all the sitting locations. They have their hair like all the way up in a little top knot today. And are just kind of like puttering around the house, and they know that like their mom's out of the house, their dad's out of the house, and they've been told they can't leave the house. They haven't been told that people can't come to the house. So they're working with that loophole right now, and like setting up like different like board like they're literally trying to make stations so that like everyone has a thing that they can do, and like if we don't like this one thing we can all move to the other thing without discussion. We can just do it.
I think Aitan is making a nuisance of herself trying to help. Yaz has come over as well because it's summer and the dog will always follow. But as a service dog is well behaved, sits in the corner, does not mess around. But she's just like, oh, let me take that plate, or like, let me help set up the board game, or like whatever, and just kind of being in proximity as much as she can, and just trying to be present as much as she can, as Luz is getting everything set up.
Uzo absolutely like is just decided to be full speed. That's the only thought, is speed all the way. So where you guys are at in the room, you just see someone like juke past you to the open section of the room and like throw their stuff down. I made it. I'm sorry, I made it.
I imagine Luz had like a Capri Sun just like straw punched in, just like waiting and holding it for when so like juked past.
Amazing. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo! Didn't miss anything.
I think Ness is just kind of trying to do whatever they can to make sure that they're on their best behavior. Like they are whatever station situation you have, they're sampling a little bit of each of it. They're one place for like 10 minutes, and then they're another place for 10 minutes, and then they like probably like fluff the pillows and like rearrange the sofa so it's not super obvious a bunch of children have been in here, teenagers have been fucking around. Very much trying to like Aitan, like just keep things nice, knowing that it is a very tenuous approval that has been made of them being in this house. Their skateboard is tucked into one of the corners because their car has been taken away from them.
Kyle Bird is sitting I guess like on the couch, sort of like crisscross applesauce, sitting up pretty straight. It doesn't have his blue tracksuit on, it's just his karate gi now because, you know, summer. And he's like excited that everyone's there, but right now he's looking at this, like, I don't know, tiny little bowl or maybe like napkin, I guess, that has like some of the snacks on it. He ate before he came here, but he got some of the snacks, but he's not hungry, so he's like looking at them and he's like, oh shit, like I don't want to be rude and I shouldn't have ate before I come. And he's just like really focusing on that, and sort of lost in this napkin with little snacks.
Kyle, just because you got it doesn't mean you have to eat it right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I knew that.
Listen to your body or whatever, and Sensei Trujillo says.
Right. And sort of smiles a little bit at that. He's like, yeah, and sort of puts it on the arm of the couch and just kind of just smirking at the room, seeing all of his friends there.
I did find one thing that I think you'll be interested in, though.
Oh,
And Luz, from
what?
like the back of their shorts, pulls a game case, and it's Just Dance 3, like the Wii version. I found my brother's old Wii.
Oh, cool. It sort of looks around. Do you guys want to play that?
That's one of the stations, you know, so we have a bunch of options.
Okay. It sort of just like jumps off of the couch because it's like, I know this. My body can move. I don't have to talk. My body knows. So he gets up and tries to go start getting it set up.
I feel like to everyone's surprise, Ness goes over there too.
Yes.
And like it's like no one's here except our friends. So we'll try it.
Oh yeah, you didn't dance last time, right?
No.
Oh, it's super easy. They have these like body positions that like kind of go across. So like basically you just look at those and then you just like mirror them. We can do like some easy songs. There's a couple of Rihanna ones that are pretty easy. And starts setting it up.
So like it's like less like dancing and like more like a game.
Yeah.
I could do that. All right.
Yeah.
And I think they start like handing you cables and stuff to like get it all plugged in. Like every couple of seconds, like Ness like looks over at Uzo like, that's right.
Yes.
But this
Good. Yes. If I see them start to dance, I'm like standing and watching the screen the way that a father on a football day does. And it's probably just giving stats, analyzing performance. You know, you got to get the elbow up there.
Yeah,
So-
they're gonna definitely be multiple times that Ness just like falls over, like straight up, like between trying to turn and look at you, like, is this good? Am I
That's
doing
good.
it?
In your core.
Like, coming back
Core.
around, falls
Yeah.
over, comes
I
back.
feel like the first
I'm
time
good.
was alarming. Like the first time was like, "Oh, are you okay?" But then after like the third and fourth time, everyone's like, "You're good. Get up."
It's
Yeah, the first or second time there was a Yaz on top of you going, "Are you okay?" Just like puppy face.
I feel like Luz has from what I know about Luz, they probably have their parents probably invested in like mats for their family for like wrestling and stuff. So I feel like
Oh,
at
yeah.
some point I'd be like, all right, cool, let's put those out.
Oh yeah, like all
I
of
need
my
them.
siblings were very like physical sport people,
Yeah.
and like they were like they were like the really like perfect older siblings, and then I'm just like this chaos gremlin underneath them.
Yeah.
So
There are
they're
family stunt pads.
Yeah, I like to think like their living room is super like wide and open, and so like there's a space that used to have the mats on them pretty regularly, so we just kind of fold them out over there, and I think Luz is just kind of laying on it, watching everyone play Just Dance.
I think as they are, Aiton would come and sit next to them, just hang out on the floor, and after you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's an awkward silence. And at some point she's like, I'm really glad we get to do this again.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice seeing everyone at the same time.
Yeah. I hope we can keep it up. I know, some of them are going to be graduating soon, but like, it's not like you're far away or anything, so.
Yeah, no, just a couple streets over.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this. I tried asking at the house, but obviously other things happened. Are we okay? I feel like it's been kind of weird.
Yeah. We're good. I don't I don't know how to.
I mean, we've been friends since we were what, like 3? I don't think there's anything you could say to me that would like make me stop loving you. So
Can't say shit like that. I've been a dick.
what are you talking about? We got busy and stuff. Like, we just haven't hung out as often as we wanted to, right?
I mean, I don't know. I should be used to people leaving. Like 6 other people have done it.
I mean, I'm literally right here.
I know you are, but it just... You started doing other things, and... You started being, like, cool and stuff, and it was always enough that we weren't cool. We were just us, and then you were cool, and then... I wasn't cool, and I didn't want to be because... That's a lot of pressure, and then... I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't want you to leave, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I mean, you know why I got popular, right?
Yeah, because you're on the dance team. You're all...
Because Raj, have you met them? Like, they're a lot. And either I worked with whatever they had going on, or I was just always going to be Raj's little cousin that got in that accident that one time. And I really am not, I don't know.
Okay,
but I'm still
that's
here.
Just selling yourself short.
I
cool
dance
and nice and are pretty and do dance, and that's great. And people should like you. They shouldn't just want to like whisper about you because something happened when we were kids. Like, they should want to hang out with you, and that's good. That's what is supposed to happen. And I just couldn't get on that wagon. It wasn't Raj, it was you.
Well,
you.
I
That's
mean,
what's important. Raj is great.
and you're, yeah, but like, popularity is like whatever, but you're like my best friend, one of my best friends. And she glances over at Kyle, and we've been through so much together. I don't know, like, I don't
How did
want
we top a car accident with like crazy shit to happen. How did we get past, oh no, you got hit by a car? We went crazier than that.
I know. I'm telling you, it's the universe just wants us together.
Yeah.
And, my popular friends are cool and popular and whatever, but you're you. You're funny and kind and protective and obviously super handsome and like super fun, and I love being around you, and like you're my friend. And being popular and like dance classes are great, but like I don't just throw that away. Anne would kill me also. So
I'm surprised she still lets me in your house, honestly.
why?
Because I don't know, I feel like every time we hang out, I bring mischief and madness and mayhem to her door.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No,
but
I'm not wrong.
I think you brought a lot of points when you saved my life when we were kids, and
Okay, we can't keep calling it that. That was my fault. We
it
were
wasn't
even
your
out.
fault.
Oh, that's a conversation for a different day. I don't have the mental, emotional energy to have that conversation today.
Liz, can I give you a hug? It's been
Yes,
like,
God, come here.
oh my God, and just big hugs.
I just like roll over on the mat and like into their lap, into her lap, and just like hug.
Can we stop being weird now?
Yes, God,
Please.
please. I'm sorry. To talk about emotional things, I'm just used to all my siblings leaving and then them not giving a shit about me anymore. And then I was like, okay, well, Iton's got cool friends now, so she's not gonna give a shit about me anymore. And so I just kind of tried to deal with it, but by super shutting down, and then that was really bad. So now here we are, and I'm glad that's not the case. The
Yeah,
end.
I mean, I may have cool friends, but you're my coolest friend, so don't tell Kyle.
Well, Kyle's his own kind of cool. We say as he's like
flailing.
Karate dance moves.
I'd say in between one of the songs, I'd say as it's dancing with Ness, I guess in between one of the songs, be like, Ness, do they have like fighting badges, in the scouts stuff?
Oh, it's not like a fighting badge, because fighting is it's not great all the time when you like want to fight, but they do
Yeah.
have self-defense badges. Yeah,
Oh.
I mean you see me like at Sensei Hyo sometimes. That's what I was
Mhm.
doing. I was taking some like judo kind of moves situation, so I could figure out how to do because in the wilderness, if there's a bear, you're supposed to well, there's several schools of thought. You can get really big, or you can run, which isn't smart because they're extremely fast, like way faster than their like size would let you know, and they can climb
Scary.
trees. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But if you get like really tough with a bear though, and you like do a defensive stance, like sometimes they think you're a threat and they'll go. So yeah, there is self-defense, and it's kind of just defense though, because also
I mean,
like
we
it's also like you're like defending others too.
yeah. I mean, that's our sort of like mantra is, like honor and respect, and to defend the defenseless, and it's a pacifism is what we practice at the Treehouse Dojo. Yeah, so like me too.
That's number 4: respect authority, myself and others.
Yeah, we're not supposed to like lie or cheat and stuff.
Number 5: honesty and fairness above all.
Maybe we should take scouts too.
Oh man, you're gonna like it so much. You could do all your moves out in the forest. You got like plenty of room. You could bring your mats, and then like if you want, like I'll come to class with you. I'm not really good at sitting still, and I know there's like meditation and stuff that you do. That's like, I might need some help with that. But the other stuff, like I could probably do it. I was doing like katas because like my dad loves Karate Kid, and like even though it's like all about that, like he's kind of a twerp, Danny, like he's okay, I guess, like he's fine, but like Johnny is like really, I mean, like you should see his moves. They're pretty good. They say he's the bad guy, but it doesn't seem like it's really his fault anyway.
Yeah,
I think
he had a bad sensei.
Right, his sensei was bad.
Yeah. You see that like with sort of like Kyle's eyes kind of light up, like, oh, this is cool. We could do all these fun things, but all he says is like, cool. And I think after a couple of minutes, maybe of them talking about that, I'd say Kyle sort of brings up again. Your older brother went to college, right?
Oh yeah, Daryl's in college. He says it's really cool. Kendrick's kind of going through some stuff. Like since he transitioned, he's like taking a year off, and then he's gonna go to college next year.
Do you miss your brother?
Yeah, I do. Daryl's who taught me how to ride a skateboard. And like he's always there. Like when my mom has to go away on business and like my dad has to work late, like, he used to like make me hot pockets and stuff. But we text all the time, and it's I don't know. He seems to really like being away, but like I can kind of tell he misses home, you know?
That's cool. That's cool.
Next time he's home, we can all hang out.
Yeah. I just my sister went out to college a while ago.
You okay?
No,
How's it going?
it's just me. Good. I think she didn't really had time to come back because like school's really busy and stuff. But you know that's okay. I've been I mean I've been over me and Aiden have been hanging out a lot, so that's been cool. But,
Yeah, I noticed you guys got like super close.
yeah.
You guys like moves? And Ness like ribs you in the like the ribs, like
What?
Uzo
No,
fully
no,
turns around. Uzo's turned around.
Kyle's like freaking out. He's like, no,
we're friends. It's totally cool. It's okay. Like I'm not gonna like judge you or anything. Like they're just
no,
pretty cool. It's like a big fish to catch.
no, I don't feel that way about Aiden. She's kind of like a big sister to me, but
Yeah.
it's just been nice not being somewhere else. So it's been cool.
I mean, you can come to my house. My mom travels all the time. She has a job that keeps her really busy. And honestly, like, she kind of stresses me out a little bit. I love her so much. She's really great. But she just like wants me to wear like makeup and dresses and stuff all the time. And I just it's just not what I like. So, you know, sometimes we'll go get like facials together, and it's fine because I guess I look nice after. But I really like, you know, making stuff with my dad. And you know, you're welcome in my house anytime. We have a nice time. Kendrick is really cool. He's in a band. So I know you like to dance.
Cool.
Like you could be a hype man. Like my dad used to like this band, the Brave Boss Tones, I think. And there's a guy who just like all he did was dance.
Oh.
So like that could be you if you want. Like,
Uh,
you're really good.
I don't know if I want to be in front of a bunch of people, but I thank you for offering. But that's cool that you could that your parents are cool. That's cool.
Is your dad still like Ness kind of like takes a minute to try to figure out like the right way to say it. Is your dad still like the way he was?
Oh, yeah. I don't really want to talk about it.
I think Ness like puts their arm through yours and like leans their head on your shoulder. It's okay. I get it. I don't always want to talk about my mom, but you know, like I'm really glad we're friends, and like I'm really glad you're gonna be a wilderness scout.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm glad that we're all hanging out again. This is really, really cool.
Will you like put on a hard song and like show me how you do it? Because like these I'm getting tripped up in these baby songs, and I know they're baby songs. You don't have to pretend that they're not baby songs. I know they are, but like
as Sensei Trujillo says, everyone has their own journey, but I can totally do an extreme song.
Yeah, all right. And I think like she gets out of the way and like just like stares at you, and like you can tell like they are not fooling around. Like they have rapt attention. Like
I do an extreme song.
Yeah, I think like we can turn the music up too. Like the music is turned up, all attention is brought to Kyle's back, so Kyle doesn't realize all of the attention.
That's
is brought to
right.
Kyle.
yeah, you turn around after it, and like
Everyone's
Nessa's eyes are like dinner plates, like like it's the greatest thing they've ever seen. Yeah, they clap really profusely. Like
I
Yeah,
just look down.
everybody's clapping.
Just look down at my shoes. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's kind of how you do it.
that was amazing.
Lose your phone goes off in your pocket.
I pull it out. I think I'll like to try and like help Kyle and take the attention off him. I'll be like, Logan wants to know if we all want to have Pearson pizza with them. I think he's out. Should we? Fuck, I can't leave. I'll text Morgan back and be like, do you want to do it here? I feel like 5 extra people at your uncle's place might be tight.
There's
And then
like the
another
dots.
text, plus I'm grounded and mom won't let me leave. But maybe for this she would. We'll see.
There were dots. They stopped as your next message was coming through. And then dots briefly again, and it just says, be over soon.
Yes! I think I text my mom in like a fit of panic, like, oh, Morgan and Logan are coming over. I'm sure you're going to be fine with that because you are in charge of them and you care about them. So you're going to be fine with it. Okay, love you, bye.
And I think after a few minutes, you hear Morgan and Logan arriving before you see them, because Morgan, since like for the whole week, Morgan has talked more than you ever thought was physically possible for a human being. Morgan doesn't shut up, and you can hear her talking excitedly to Logan about who knows what before they're even like reaching the actual front door. And then you hear the doorknob turn, and then you hear, oh, and then it just pulls back. Knock, knock, knock.
Just come in.
Opens the door again. I know I was like basically living in here, and that's weird. Okay.
No, just walk in. It doesn't fucking matter.
They come in and they have bags full of frozen cheese pizzas, and like another bag has random ass things inside of them. She comes in and she's like, okay, I thought everyone could pick your own toppings. We have the normal boring toppings over here, like pepperoni, and Logan's like boring coming in behind Morgan. And we have plenty of extra cheese. There's like a whole bag of just extra shredded cheese, obviously. And Logan says, obviously. But if you're wanting the truly magical experience of Pearson's Pizza, we have chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, chips of a variety of flavors, and we have goldfish. So pick your poison. And she just kind of throws the bags onto the floor for you to choose what you want on your Pearson's Pizza.
I pick up Logan and throw him over my shoulder as I walk into the kitchen and turn the oven on and just like start carrying him around like that. Luz has always been like the littlest sibling, and now that there is someone smaller, they're immediately like, yes.
As you're going to turn the oven on, he's like trying to peek around to see what you're turning it to, and he's like, 450. You have to turn it to 450.
Oh, 450? I thought it was more like
450.
350. Jeez, okay,
That's
okay.
for the expensive pizzas.
Dang.
I feel like there's a dog with their nose in Logan's face. Like he's hanging down, dog face. Just following you around everywhere.
I love that.
I think Uzo's taking these ingredients like a gastropub and is like crushing the like goldfish and spread like it is an operation. It looks like a Food Network like hype commercial. And it's a mess. And I think she probably turns to Ness and says, "Do you want some?" I'm calling it fish dust. Working title. Do you want some?
Fish dust.
Yeah.
Is it like goldfish and like the dust from crackers and chips on the pizza?
See, the fact that you already know that. Yes.
Obviously, I want some, Uzo.
Thank you.
Obviously, I want some.
Yes. Good. And he's like making a cloud of orange over our pizzas. Good. This is nice. And whatever else, I don't know, do you want anything else? I'm now very interested in getting you what you need for your pizza. So I don't know.
So like I like a little bit of sweet, but like you've done me a solid by putting the barbecue chips on there. I
Yes.
think that'll do it. And then I think they like go find their bag and rummage around and pull out this like mega like overload of Twizzlers. They have like every flavor, multiple bags, like the pull and peel, the chocolate, the black licorice kind, and they just like throw it down and they're like, you know, like because you gotta have like an aperitif, I think it's called.
Logan's
Yeah,
like, ew, I want to try it. Can I try it?
Yeah. Like I don't know that you should put it on the pizza, but I bet
He's
if you
already
did
putting it
pull
on the
and peel-
pizza.
Yeah.
Do the pull and peel. You can like write cool names and stuff and do shapes, and then
Wait,
it's gonna
just
be like
do
real
half of it in case
stretchy.
you don't like it.
Well, I mean, you could like eat
Morgan-
the pull and peel off the pizza if you don't like it.
Morgan's like, he'll eat it anyway.
Yeah, all right. I've like put him down, but I'm like constantly trying to like mess with what he's doing.
He like meticulously puts Twizzlers in a certain design, turns around to get another one, turns
I
around and they're
untwizzle
gone.
them. And there's like the end of one disappearing in my mouth.
Are you just going to allow this? He asks to Ness.
I mean, I you know, it's like the Wild West. You know, every pizza for themselves. I don't. Luce doesn't listen to me anyway. I try to tell them what to do, and they just look at me and they like give me like the little smile, and I'm like, fuck.
This pizza ain't big enough for the 7 of us.
I'll sort of like turn to Logan, like, are you saying that you need someone to defend your pizza's honor?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And Kyle gets in his stance.
Ness
He
moves back,
between
like, nope.
moves.
You you see 3 Twizzlers like Wolverine separate them to call the fight. It's gonna be
Luz is
good.
like doing the most insane, intricate moves and like moving backward toward the mats so we can full fight.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be clean. Whoever loses,
Lose.
whoever loses, and whoever.
It's not me. I have 6 older siblings. Try me, motherfucker. I'm full of rage.
If you ruin the pizza while fighting, you have to pay for new pizza. Fight, and that's.
I don't want to seem overconfident, but I am a 2d-degree black belt.
The
We
moment
run straight at
Uzo
him.
the moment Uzo says fight, Logan pushes Kyle towards Luz.
It's cheating! It's cheating!
There is a significant amount of screaming and fighting.
Yeah.
I will stand next to Ness and just say, so like, which one do you think?
I mean, I think the real winner are the people who get to eat their pizza first.
That's true.
Cheers, your pizza.
Fools!
Yeah.
Luz and Kyle.
Yes!
Let's make a fighting roll.
Yes!
It's a D8. Fuck yeah.
So is mine! Oh no!
You have training. I have rage.
I got a 6.
I got a 7.
Damn it!
I think Luz gets way too into it after having to fight siblings bigger than him for like ever. So I think by the end, he's got like a forearm in the back of your neck and like pressing you to the mat. Yeah!
Uh,
I think Logan does that really dramatic, like gets down on the mat and like counts. 1, 2, 3, you're out! And stands up.
And slowly the pinning transforms into Luz just hugging Kyle.
he looked very embarrassed that he was beaten by someone who has no training. But it's like, yeah, I totally meant to do that. Just sort of to himself, and then it's like, oh, okay, I guess we're getting hugs. I guess it's fine.
Ness calls out from the kitchen, Logan, whose side are you on, man?
All I know is that was awesome.
I will bow to Luz at the end.
I will bow, but make a fart noise as I do it.
Good, clean fight. Good, clean fight.
Logan says, hey Kyle, how much does karate class cost? Maybe if I save up I can come to one with you?
Yeah. Oh, on Saturdays and like some weekdays, I actually teach some of the younger kids actually. Being an upper degree black belt, that's part of my responsibilities. So I could kick your ass. So that'd be cool.
I would love that.
I feel like that was he gets kind of embarrassed when he says that, but he's like, I think that like he knows that was a joke, but it's like his first sort of attempt at it. And then Logan laughs, he's like, cool.
I think you can see behind Logan, Aiton's like,
he's like, it's kind of like when your mom's like, good job, he's like, stop making a big deal out of it. Don't, people are looking. But appreciates it.
At this point, Morgan calls from the kitchen, who got the chicken nugget Dorito combo?
Me!
Hands like a full, like, it's just a plate, but with the entire pizza is on it, not cut or anything, just given to you. And putting like the next round of pizzas in for everybody. And I think the day continues well into sunset. Yeah.
Kyle's pizza has one piece of pepperoni on it.
Nice.
Oh my god.
He wanted to live on the edge, so.
We're really proud of his desire to try new things.
Yeah.
That's actually a really big step. We're really proud.
It's bold, yeah.
I think there's just like more of the same after they eat. I think like they put on like Transformers or something stupid and
Oh.
or,
Yes,
like-
sorry. Yes, that's a good choice. This is living.
I think specifically for Uzo we pick Transformers.
Ness is like whispering with like Morgan and with Kyle, like intermittently talking about examples from Wilderness Scout rules of like, okay, so here Sam Witwicky should have been doing number 9. That would have been the appropriate response, but instead he chose to just be a little shit. And that's not what Wilderness Scouts is about. It's not about being a little shit. And I know what you're thinking, but Ness, sometimes you're a little shit. That's neither here nor there. We all make mistakes. And then like, it's like between talking about Wilderness Scouts and then also being very distracted and being like, Sam Witwicky's like kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like, that girl's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of cute.
Everybody's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're kind of cute. Bumblebee's kind of cute. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I got stuff.
I think there's a moment too when every time you say should have been doing number whatever, Morgan tries to guess which one that is and is wrong literally every time. It's always like number 9, be kind to others. No, shit. And it just repeats over and over.
But
I
Nessa's
kinda-
just like very like nodding, like it's okay. You're just a little baby idiot, and one day you'll know
Oh my
all of the
gosh.
rules, and you won't be
Morgan
a baby
is a
idiot
little
anymore.
baby idiot.
I kind of want them all to be. Oh, number 2, be kind to others. Oh, number 4, that's be kind to others.
Be kind to
Just keep
others.
saying.
One of these times I have to be correct.
It has to be kind to others once.
I also
A
feel like
broken-
there's 100% a point where someone in the movie gets like knocked down to the ground and then they do a kip up where basically they like get up, they like kick their legs and are up on their feet, and then everyone's like, how do we do that? And I'm like, let's
Pause.
do it.
Pause the movie.
For like an
Pause the movie,
hour
everyone learns
or
kip
2.
ups.
Yeah. Or someone does a backflip at some point, and then it's like just like everyone's like standing there trying to do it, and everyone's falling all over the place. But then someone gets it eventually.
I feel like
Logan's
Logan's the one
cheeks
that
are like
needs it.
bright red because he's so hot
Yeah.
from just all the activity.
I think
Feel
at
like
some point, like near the end of the movie too, Luz just gets completely bored with watching a thing, so they pull out cards and start being like, Logan, play slapjack with me. Morgan, play
Ooh.
slapjack with me. Like just trying to get someone to play slapjack.
Vicious.
And then at one point, Logan's like, "Go fish."
No, that's the wrong game.
Ah!
So you've been playing this whole time?
Eventually, the night winds down. At some point, your mom got home, but you don't really know when that was. There was too much chaos happening. You know, your mom's home. And eventually it comes time to kind of disperse and head home. And Morgan is literally like collecting all of the trash to bring outside because there's like 15 pizza boxes, there are empty cheese containers, there's all kinds of shit. And so she's just collecting all that up to bring it out on her way. As she's doing so, she kind of looks over at you and she says, "Hey, you know, I haven't really known how to say thanks yet. Because how do you thank someone for things that seem impossible, you know? But thank you."
What?
Thank you?
No, I mean, thank you. It was just luck. I think.
Well, no, I mean for more than just that. I think, I mean, you were nice to me like immediately, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't-
'cause what was I gonna do? Be a shithead?
I mean, most people were, yeah.
Most people are stupid, so.
Correct. You know, I keep thinking that maybe, this might sound weird, but I think that maybe we had that dream for a reason. You know, that dream, that we both had.
Yeah, where you said that he gave us the key with the light.
Yeah, I
I'm still
don't
really
know.
confused on that one, honestly.
I don't know what all that's about, but I mean, I think maybe it was. And she kind of looks around and sees Logan is busy talking to Kyle. I think it was Logan, right? Kind of telling me to trust you, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
That would
maybe.
make sense.
I think it was him, and just kind of looks over at him, and Logan is like hanging from Kyle's arm.
He's a good kid. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad we all get to do dumb shit together.
I love doing dumb shit.
God, it's so fun. Thanks for sharing him with us. Is that
What,
weird?
Pearson's Pizza?
Yeah, well, I mean that too, but like, I don't know. I feel like it would be really easy to just kind of like get him back and then cut yourself off. But you're like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. It's just nice that y'all still want to be around us even after everything.
I think Logan chose you guys that day. And I have a
Not
confession.
standing up.
Logan, it wasn't Logan that wanted to know if you guys wanted to have Pearson's Pizza today. I just kind of used him as a scapegoat.
We would have said yes if it was you too. You know that.
I know that now. I don't know. On the same boat, I kind of thought maybe, you know, now that it was all over, I know the age thing's weird, but like Logan's back. Logan was your friend. I don't know. Stupid
You're
thought.
stuck with us now. Like, it's kind of a package deal. I think we're all insane. So you're stuck with insanity even more. So yeah, my mom loves when you guys are here because I think she gets sad when it's just me because she was used to a lot of kids and now it's just the messy one. So extra messy ones still makes it feel like there are more kids, I think. And my dad too. My dad likes it. I was just saying my mom because you like had more contact with my mom. I'm not trying to say like some kind of like matriarchal, like only women can care about the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go. I'm gonna take out all of the trash, and there's like there's like 3 full bags of garbage, and
I can take it out later. You don't have to do that. Oh god, I'm bad at this. I'm
just gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean like not get out of here. But
No,
like,
I know what you
yeah,
mean.
like, yes, okay. Cool, see you
Logan,
later.
and just turns around and like, Logan, let's go. And Morgan heads out. Logan grabs a bag and like just drags it, because he's just too like short to actually lift it up off of the ground.
I give Egton a really super tight hug before she leaves. I
It
hug
is
everyone else too, but
reciprocated.
yeah, an extra tight one.
Everyone's going home, and Kyle, I guess, would normally, be trying to stay at Aiton's, but basically he knows that all of his clothes are dirty. He needs to take a shower. He needs to go back to his house, at least for tonight. So I would say everyone's leaving, and sort of like is saying goodbye. Everything's good. Smile on his face. And then he turns the corner to go down his street. And he sees his house. And he sees that his dad's car is the only one that's there, which is... it's been like that for, I think, the past couple weeks. And he walks up, and there's... I'd say like a lamp on the yard, just like laying in the yard. He knows that it's one of his mom's lamps. And he sees that there's another manila envelope laying on the doorstep. And he knows that that's been there for a couple days. Since the last time he stayed here, so he picks it up. And goes in and trying to move as quietly as he can, try to place that on the kitchen table with the other divorce papers, and tries to sneak through this house. It probably sees that the living room's a bit of a mess. Dad's probably asleep, looking depressed, and tries to sneak down to his room and to do his laundry and everything, and to try to be up early. That's what Kyle does.
Yeah, we see as you enter, like, through the doorway to lead to the stairs that lead down, pull that door closed, and as that door closes, that's when the screen goes black. And camera watches the clock as it turns to 12:50 a.m. And all of you sit straight up in your beds. Sweat on your foreheads, heart pounding in your throats, breathing heavily. There is a loud crack of lightning and thunder outside that draws your attention to the storm. Heavy drops of rain are falling hard onto the windows. And that's when something is pieced together. That hum, that screaming hum that the light had made before, it sounds just like this. The storm. Your eyes rush to the clock, 12:50. Why 12:50? When every other time it was 12:57, and you feel a sudden urgency. All of you hear, almost as if traveling through the scream and the hum itself, it doesn't sound like the voice is coming from outside your window or anything. It sounds like it's part of the storm. You hear Morgan yell, "Logan, don't!" What would you like to do?
Run?
Yeah, fully out of bed, onto bike, going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skateboard.
I'm just going to the house, yeah.
And Iton, Yaz is barking like crazy.
Yeah. I will text the group because dog will wake up parents, which will mean sneaking out will be very difficult. So I will text the group to be like, "Are you awake? Did you hear that? Are you going?"
Yeah, I think I think I don't know if Uzo has a bike. If she doesn't have a bike, she has quads. Either way, she's texting furiously. Yeah, we're all going. I don't think she knows that. She just says that we're all going, so everyone knows that.
You
Okay.
get like a really misspelled text back from Ness that's like clearly done while they're on their skateboard, like trying to like pay attention to what's in front of them, or like text to talk, so it's like got punctuation in weird places, that they're heading there.
Luz, as soon as they're on their bike, is calling Morgan, and if she doesn't answer, is calling Morgan again. It is just like constantly calling Morgan.
Yeah, and it is just phone call after phone call because she's not answering. 4 of you are heading out. Iton, you're watching through like your window probably, trying to see what you can see. Yaz is barking and kind of like almost like jumping up on the bed, jumping down, jumping up on the bed, jumping down. Like there is an urgency to Yaz as well. Those of you out on the street, it is hard to keep track of where you are, where you're going. You're fighting against the rain and the wind and the storm, trying to see past the complete and total downpour. As you're moving, you're not even sure, you just feel this pull in a direction, and all of you know you're heading to the house. You're heading for the house. Whether that was a decision you made or whether that's just where you know you're heading, you just feel that pull, and you hear car alarms start blaring as the streets themselves begin to just rumble ever so slightly with the thunder. Something is wrong. The street is shaking. The car alarms are blaring and shaking and trembling. You can hear the sound of glass cracking in the windows of houses nearby. Something is wrong. You hear again, "Logan, where are you?" Coming from not far in front of you. As you push forward a little bit more, you begin to see each other. Kind of, you see Nessa's arm, and you're able to kind of reach out and you recognize each other, stay in view of each other. You see Kyle's arm, you pull him closer. Everybody finds each other eventually. And while, I mean, it's loud, you can shout to each other. It's so hard to hear each other. How are you hearing Morgan so clearly? After you've all met up with each other, storm still just raging on, you see Morgan lying in the street, drenched in rain, and as you're approaching, you see fresh blood spilling from a wound on her forehead. It looks like she was hit with something. She's kind of moving a little bit. You see her eyes fluttering. She's barely conscious.
I think I'll probably like skid up on my bike and drop down. And the first thing I'll think to say was it a stop sign?
There's this like blinking, what? And
Whatever hit you, was it a stop sign?
Reaches up for her head and is looking around. No. Wait. And there's this moment of like recognition at what you're saying. And at this time, you all hear this like loud, not quite whistling, but just this terrible sound of something heavy moving through the storm. I would like for Ness, Kyle, and Uzo to make an agility roll at a -4. Luz, you're making it at a -2. Okay, so we have Uzo and Kyle with a 3, Luz with a 4, Ness with a...
I spent
you
2
only-
bennies.
2 minutes.
I tried.
This fully makes sense. Because, Luz, you're asking, was it a stop sign? And as you're hearing the sound, you're looking up and you're seeing a stop sign flinging towards you. You have just enough time. You're already kind of knelt down because you're looking at Morgan, but you kind of just like drop down to your elbow, and this stop sign it's flinging and spinning, and it slams into the 3 of you, knocking you down. You're not going to take any damage or a wound or anything, but all three of you are just knocked back onto your backs. The rain is just plummeting down. You feel the bruise already starting, and the storm just rages. It's just loud. Iton, you're not able to see anything from where you are.
Can I go in the bathroom and look in the mirror?
Sure. Yeah, you immediately, like, you're unable to see anything. You rush over, and you head into the bathroom. You look into, like, the medicine cabinet mirror thing. Okay.
Yeah, because they took away the golden one, right?
Yeah.
So she's like looking in it. She's got the lights off, looking in it at different angles and like opening it and like whatever, and maybe getting like a second mirror to do that thing you do to check the back of your hair and like drawing on it and stuff just in case.
All right, we will revisit that. The rest of you, what are you doing? The storm seems to be getting louder around you.
Well, I want to help everyone up. I guess I got knocked down. And I guess looking at Morgan.
Morgan.
Waiting for someone else to, I guess, respond and to say, like, what the fuck's going on?
Being helped up, Morgan's not, like, saying anything. There's still this confusion, to this daze, but she's, like, pointing in the direction of the house.
Is Logan in the house?
I think so.
Luz starts running.
Yeah, Uzo's running after Luz and just wants to confirm, like, the weather app does not say there's a storm going on, does it?
It does not.
Yeah, cool.
Can I do a notice on Morgan?
Okay.
See if their ass is actually Morgan.
Sure, yes.
Oh, that's a explosion, my guy. And another explosion, my guy. That is 15.
15.
Yeah.
This is Morgan.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, Morgan slammed into by something, and you see that sincere worry on her face that you know a faceless couldn't fake. So you know it's Morgan.
Is there anything else I might notice, or about maybe like the voice from before, or when we heard Morgan's voice, or I know it's really hard to notice anything in this storm, but I don't know, is there any...
The only thing that you really notice is in this small little group that you're in, it's almost as if you're in, like, not quite the eye of a storm because it's not calm by any means, but it does seem more violent around you, almost as if it's, like, closing in, sort of, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's moving in further, but it feels like the storm is almost allowing as much calm as it can, I guess is the best way to put that. It's by no means calm. You're still being pelted with rain and it sucks, but you're able to see each other and talk to each other.
I have never been in a hurricane, but I'm assuming when you see it from above, it looks like there's a little hole. If I look up, is there a little hole in the sky?
There is not.
Okay, all right. I figured I'd ask. Okay.
All right, so is everyone heading for the house? Morgan is heading that way as well. All of you
text
are...
Aiton, probably. Like, we found Morgan. Something's going on at the house.
You kind of arrive in staggering orders to the house, depending on who was moving through the storm faster, who was able to reach the house first. But upon reaching the house, you see all the windows are bricked up.
Would we know that's something that happened because of the party?
It definitely was not bricked up earlier today.
Is the door bricked up?
You rip the door open, it's bricked.
I karate chop it.
Oh, make a fighting roll.
I'm a black belt. I have
I like
done this a couple times.
Can I use my wilderness scout training to try and find, like, see if I can, like, look at the area and see how Logan might have been able to get inside?
7.
Okay.
8.
Okay. Ness, you are certain there is no feasible way to get into this house. You see the windows are bricked, you see the doors are bricked, but all of you hear Logan scream on the inside. He didn't get in there in a way others would seem possible. Kyle, after hearing the scream, you bring an arm back and do you kick or punch?
Fuck. Probably kick. I think your legs are probably stronger.
Yeah, I think you lean back. There's a moment where your everything is soaked. Your foot slips slightly, but Uzo and Luz are right behind you, and they both kind of like catch an elbow, and you use like their force as well to slam your leg into the brick, and you hear it explode inward.
Oh, yeah!
Bricks
Karate!
push in, and the sudden quiet makes your ears ring. You no longer hear the screaming of Logan Pearson. You no longer hear the roaring of the storm outside. All you hear is the overly loud grandfather clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And you stand, dripping wet, in the near silence of the house. Tick, tock. And Kyle, you're realizing you're alone.
Huh?
You look down at the floor,
I didn't go
and
yet.
you look down at the floor, it's a chessboard.
Uh,
The ticking of the clock grows louder. Logan stands in the center of the chessboard. He's talking. His mouth is moving, but you can't hear anything that
I
he's
try
saying.
to get off the chessboard. I don't want to
You
stay on
back
it.
up. You back up, and you slam into a brick wall.
Is there what's around the chessboard? Is it just brick wall all the way around? Is there like hedges or something? Is there chess pieces I can get on top of?
As you're looking around, it's strange. It's almost like your brain is piecing it together piece by piece. You see the floor itself, it just looks like a house. It looks like wood floors, but you can see like the chessboard pattern has been painted onto it. You see the frames for walls where the walls were in this house. You were in this house at the party. You know what the layout looks like, but it's just the frames for the walls. The walls aren't there. But you do see, on the other side of Logan, a school bus as well.
Fuck. Since this is the layout of the house before, do I remember where the mirror was put before?
You do.
Though I probably don't see it. I want to go
Yeah,
over there and kick it.
it's not on the wall over here.
Okay.
But you see Logan is still just mouthing things at you, trying to talk to you, but you just can't hear him.
I guess I'll... remembering that I didn't want to sink before, I guess I'll try to... basically, like, sort of, like, run and, like, fireman carry Logan and try to get off of the chessboard, or at least somewhere else in the house that is not chessboard floor.
Okay. You begin running forward, and you're having that feeling, that thought. You know, you remember waking up. You know you did. You woke up and you ran out here. You know you're not dreaming, but the way that you're running feels like how you're running in a dream, like you're just not fast enough, you're not going to get to Logan fast enough, but then you do. You slam your shoulder into him, pick him up, and you run. Your focus is to get off of this chessboard. You have to get off of this chessboard, and you hear Logan say to you, "We're running out of time, Kyle. We're running out of time to stop this."
What do I do? How do we stop it?
Uzo,
Yes.
you are seeing the outstretched hallway of doors.
Okay.
No keys are crunching under your feet this time. It's just a floor. And you hear the familiar clinking of a tea party happening on the other end. What do you do?
I start towards it. And I think she's trying to put on a much braver face, so she starts like confidently walking towards the tea party. Saying no weird shit this time. And moves closer.
As you begin to go, there's a moment where you kind of jump a little bit because you feel something touch your hand. But as you look down, you see Logan has grabbed your hand. And he says, "It's okay, Uzo. We have to do this to stop it for good. But we're running out of time, so we have to hurry, okay?"
Okay. What are we doing exactly?
Not really sure, but we it'll all be over soon.
What's your favorite planet?
Pluto, duh.
Okay, Jesus, just wanted to be sure. Let's go.
We're gonna talk about how you don't think that's a planet, and you begin moving forward.
Okay, cool.
Aiton, you are doing that thing where you open the medicine cabinet, close it.
Mm-hmm.
Open it, close it. Open it, close it. And as you close it, you see the scene is different behind you.
Right.
You are standing in the police precinct once again.
She was asleep. She would not have put her prosthesis back on. She's in a wheelchair when she wakes up and gets out of bed. Is she suddenly standing with the prosthesis, or is she still in the chair?
She would still be in the chair. You see the police precinct behind you, but it's different. There are no bodies, no blood, no Cheshire cat smiles. It's empty. It's quiet, and you're alone. And then you're not alone, as Logan kind of taps your knee to get your attention.
What happened? What? Are you okay?
As you turn to look at him, you find you have to look down even further. You see Logan is the size of a toy doll, looking up at you. "You have to help me, Aiton, I can't reach." And he points up to one of the desks where you see the vials that say "drink me" and the cupcakes that say "eat me." What do you do?
I will grab a vial and I will offer to lift him up into my lap and help him drink it.
Okay. Ness, you are seeing a beautiful hallway filled with red roses. Your scout leader stands at the other side of this hallway, clapping, holding your sash, and you see it's full of patches now. There's no room for any more, and she holds it out for you to take. Logan's voice comes from beside you. "Go on. You've earned them, haven't you?"
I mean, yes, but last time they were gone, and I feel like I haven't really done anything differently.
Do you feel like you should have done anything differently?
I mean, no. Maybe I don't know.
Look, what's rule number 4?
I mean, respect authority, myself and others.
Morgan told me it was be kind to others.
Oh, no. Kindness is key is number 10.
Number 10? She was way off. Anyway, you're like the kindest person that I know. You deserve all those patches. You should take them.
You say so. I think she makes her way over and just reaches out with one eye squinted
Just reaching out to grab it. Kyle, you are standing on the school bus. But you're not in a school bus now. It's that day. It's exactly as you remembered it. Everyone's sitting exactly where they were, the same buzz of conversation, but you are your current age. Everyone else, it's like they went back in time to their younger ages. Logan, obviously the same age as well, turns and looks at you. Why didn't you say them, Kyle? All the things that you wanted to say. You're so brave. What were you so afraid of?
Kyle sort of reflexively searches for his sister's inhaler. I guess as he find it.
I don't know. Does he? Does he need it?
I think he thinks he needs it, but I don't think he finds it. He looks over at Logan. I don't know. I was just always so scared.
Logan reaches and kind of grabs onto your hand. It's okay. You can say it now.
Ness, I think the confidence list would be really cool. I wondered, I want to ask you about your brother who went to college because I miss my sister a lot. I feel so alone here. Uzo, your hands moving faster than your mind, that's kind of like karate, so maybe you should try doing karate too, because that's pretty cool. Luz, you should do karate too, because you talked about fighting your siblings all the time, and I think that's really cool. And Aiden, why are you so nice to me? I want to be friends with all you guys.
Logan is smiling and he squeezes your hand, and that was really good, Kyle.
And sort of looks around to see if people are looking at him.
As you're looking around, nobody's looking at you, but you see out the windows that you're passing a body of water instead of crashing into it.
It changed.
Yeah, you changed it. Uzo, you have reached the tea party. Logan kind of moves to go sit down at a chair, and you see the Faceless sitting at the head of the table. It sips tea, but the tea just pours down and onto the clothing, the chest and the lap. It pulls a key from its pocket. The key. You know it. And you see it flips 3 teacups upside down. It puts the key underneath one of them. And then it begins to switch them around.
I think she will try to play the game. She's going to keep an eye on one. They're all the same teacup, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. No. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for the key. I'm just gonna jump on the table and I'm gonna go for the key.
Incredible. I would like for you to roll agility,
That's fair.
unless you can argue something else.
No. 6.
Okay. You know exactly which cup the key is under. He's hardly had time to switch too many of them. You know, you're sure, you're 100% certain. And as you pull that cup away to reach in and grab the key, you see class photos. A stack of them. You see yourself, Kyle, Luz, Ness, Aiton, Morgan, and Logan. Just a stack. of school pictures. You're still certain this is the key.
Hey, I love all these people. Why do you care? Why do you care about all this?
You see the Faceless's head kind of cock just a little bit, and Logan says, he collects things.
I'm gonna try to take the photos.
You pull them off the table. You're able to take them.
Can I leave?
There's a moment where you're just kind of hovering there for a second, and you turn around and you look, and you see like an open archway that you could go through.
I turn back to the Faceless man. Did you get stuck down here too? Did your keys not come back for you? Or are you here?
I would like for you to roll persuasion.
Okay, that's another 6.
Okay, the Faceless kind of cocks its head the other way, and you just hear that terrible, terrible, multiple voices kind of coming at the same time. There's almost a chuckle at the beginning, just I am not trapped here. And Logan kind of looks and is like, maybe we should go. And kind of stands up and scoots his chair in. I don't like him when he's mad.
Then, yeah, we can get out of here.
Okay. And the two of you head for the archway. Iton. As you are helping Logan, he takes whatever you have offered him, and he grows to his usual size. But now you're noticing this room that you're in. You're both too big to fit through the door now. The door is smaller, and Logan says, "It's okay. We have help here, you know," and he points over to something that Logan is acting like it's been in the room the whole time, but he definitely would have noticed. You see the basket of a hot air balloon that sits through the next doorway. Someone left this for us.
Should we and I point at the cupcakes and the vials. Do we need to bring them with us? Or
I don't know.
I'll get a couple and off we go, I guess.
Up and away! And you see him kind of like hop into the basket, kind of like holds the door open for you as you're is Yaz here?
That's a great question. I wouldn't have left, wouldn't have closed the bathroom door on her. So.
I'm gonna say Yaz is here as well. Yaz excitedly runs into the basket. There's plenty of room for your wheelchair to come in as well, and Logan closes the basket, fiddles with it for a second to figure out how to actually latch it, and almost immediately you feel the basket beginning to rise, and you're drifting upward through the open rooftop into the clouds, and it is beautiful up here. There's no storm, it's blue sky, and Logan says, "It's nice, isn't it?"
It reminds me of home. Well, my parents' home, I guess. But we do this back where I'm from.
That's awesome. It's so pretty, and I think that's why I wanted to stay forever. But, I don't know. You all made me see that it's not real. it's fake. And he reaches out and literally grabs part of a cloud, turns into cotton candy, and he just starts like squishing it. It's so cool, and it can be so wonderful, like Wonderland. But it's not real, so I don't know. Can you really be happy here?
There's a book that I like super love that I read a bunch when I was like probably your age. And this little girl has kind of the same realization. And like sometimes life is hard and it sucks, but it kind of makes the good stuff better almost, you know?
Yeah. I think. And he kind of pets Yaz. I think it's time to wake up and stay awake this time. But we have to get rid of it. Because the thing that rules this place is like the Red Queen, and we have to chop off its head.
Like literally chop off its head or like figuratively because we're in a dream.
I don't know, but it would be pretty cool.
It would be kind of cool. Do
Are
we
you
just
ready? Are you
Yeah.
ready to wake up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And there's a smile, and then you feel the basket beginning to plummet back toward Earth.
Cool.
Ness, you have grabbed the sash, put it on. At the moment you put it over your eyes, the scene changes before you, and you are seeing an empty tea party. No attendees, no tea, just empty cups and pitchers and seats. And you see storm clouds are rolling in above your head.
I think Nessa's sense of panic increases like 11-fold in that moment. They're not expecting it. And I feel like the first thing they do is like grab for Logan to see if he's there.
Logan grabs onto your wrist and says, "It's okay."
We need to find cover, shelter. It's not a rule, but you've got to stay safe. That's part of Wilderness Scouts. And I think they look around to see if there's like a place where they could go to kind of shelter from this storm.
Yeah, make a survival roll.
8.
Okay. You immediately find like a cave that you could go to, and you pull Logan. And as you're heading for this cave, Logan says, "You really like helping people, don't you?"
Yeah. I mean, it's important. Not everybody, can take care of themselves. And sometimes everybody needs a little bit of help.
And you like healing people. You like patching people up.
Yeah. I got really good because loose. Always got a scraped knee, a cut, something.
That's how Morgan is too.
All arms and legs. So clumsy. But it's really cute.
And as you're taking cover in this cave, you hear the downpour starting outside, and Logan's like, "Whoa, you got us here just in time." And he's kind of looking out at just the rain pouring down. I think we could all really use your help, because I know you heal wounds and stuff, but do you think maybe when this is all over, you can help heal everyone's hearts, too?
I would like to. My dad is, my dad went through some stuff when he was our age, and he's really good at listening, and he's why I'm kind of good at healing and stuff, and he says that when you have a hurt heart, it's just like having a wound anywhere else, except people can't see it, so they don't know that you need help. So if people want me to, I would help.
I think that's really cool.
Do you need help?
I think the only way to make it all be over is to remember, and I'm afraid to remember.
Sometimes we forget stuff because it hurts too much to remember.
Yeah, but if you will help me after, that makes me a little more brave. Like Kyle.
Kyle's super brave.
Super brave.
I think his heart is a little hurt too.
Maybe that's why we're all friends. Our hearts are just a little hurt.
When my heart hurts, I just talk to my friends. And it helps a lot. So if I can be the friend everybody talks to feel better, it's the least I could do.
That's really cool.
I think I like pull him in. You're really cool.
He kind of like nuzzles into you a little bit and then goes, oh, and reaches into his pocket while we're waiting for the storm, and he pulls out a deck of cards, and he's like, Luz taught me Go Fish. Do you want to play?
Yeah. Yeah, is that the one where like you gotta slap as hard as you can?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, whoever says Go Fish, you slap.
I'm not very good, but it's okay. I don't have to win.
Okay. He starts getting the cards out. Lose. You find you heard the bricks being kicked in. You heard the sound. And then everybody was gone. The bricks are still there. Like nothing was kicked in. And you are standing in the storm that still rages outside. You are looking around for your friends that were right here, and you see Morgan is the only one still here. And in this moment, you both have just a second of deja vu as you're standing in the same places that you were in your dream. The same places. The only difference is the storm that is raging around you. You see another sign hurling behind you, slamming into a car. You hear it slam into the windshield. All the car alarms are going off. And you hear almost as if... It almost sounds like, almost like a static pulse come from this house, and you and Morgan both are just shoved away from the house itself, lifted up off your feet. You slam down. You're just on the sidewalk, like just outside of the house, but it's like the house is trying to get you away from it. You both land, squinting up at the sky. The lightning flashes, and you swear for a moment you see a faceless. Long arms stretching out towards the homes around you, as if puppeting every car where the alarms are going off. Larger than life itself. You see its large, expressionless face staring down at you through the clouds, the black suit shrouded by the dark storm clouds that obscure its form. And you're realizing the terrible hum isn't the storm. It's the faceless. Screaming in anger, agony, you're not sure. You just hear it roaring louder, and you hear the crunching and the cracking of the earth. The car alarms are blaring, the wind and rain is slamming into the windows and the hoods. You hear the creaking of metal as the cars are lifted up off of the ground. Their headlights turn on as they're lifted, and you watch every single car rise up into the air. Lights shining through various places. The cars themselves kind of begin to spin, causing lights going in various different directions. And then you hear the loud crunching of the foundations of the homes around you as the houses themselves begin to lift up off of the ground. They aren't crumbling to pieces. They aren't being flung from the wind of the storm. They are just being lifted up into the air and melting. You're seeing them begin to melt into nothing, as if made from paper. And you're remembering that dream, that terrible mess of paper soaked in the rain and melting into the earth. You see windows shatter outward from the homes and the cars. You see fence posts ripped out of the ground and flung into cars or houses, some of the posts bouncing down the street and causing you and Morgan to have to duck to avoid them. Glass is circling above your heads as if you were caught in the eye of a storm or the center of a tornado, and you can just hear the roaring. As if this storm was so angry that you're here, so angry that you dare to perceive it. Morgan looks at you, Luz, and the rain has washed away the blood from her face, and she says, "What if it's Logan?"
It's not. It's that thing. It's in the sky. It's that thing.
What if he just wants me to go back?
Then
I can
it's
just
not
go with
Logan.
him.
No,
How do you know?
because he's good and he's sweet and he wants to be here with us. He doesn't want to hurt anyone.
Then how do you explain that? And she's just motioning up towards the sky.
That's not him. That's something else.
Okay, so what do we do?
I had a dream. where there was paper and it was melting and there were origami things and then he got sucked down into it. So we just follow him, right? We find the drippy houses and we go into the goo of the drippy houses and then we'll find him and then we'll get out.
There's a couple beats of silence as she, like, a blank expression staring at you for a moment. Luz, that is one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life.
I think we live in Crazy Town now, dude! I don't think we can stop doing things because, it's a little weird. We jumped through a mirror to save your brother. This can't be the weirdest thing.
Okay, but how do we do that? And at that moment, like, one of the Faceless's arms comes down and slams into one of the houses. Slams it back down onto the ground, and there's this squish as the hand itself just flattens one of the homes and then pulls back up, and you hear the roaring starting again.
Just gave us our entrance.
Oh, God. Okay, and
I'll grab her hand and start just, like, running.
I think that happens at the same time. There's not even this take my hand. You both just grab each other's hands and go. And you start running.
Just full down the rabbit hole.
There's this moment where you're like, your feet are like sticking in this paper. It's almost like first just your feet sticking in. It's like glue but thicker. And the further that you're going in, it's swallowing up your shins. It begins swallowing up your thighs. Eventually, it's to your waist, and you have to try to just push through it even further. But then there's one solid moment where you swear you feel something grab your ankles and pull. Both of you try to take a breath, and everything goes dark. And then, simultaneously, it's like one by one, but all at once, at the same time. All of you stand together outside of the old Pearson residence.
Again?
Yeah, but it's not how you know it now. You do as well, Aiton. It is not how you know it now, it's how you knew it then. It's what it looked like before. And there's no storm. The sun shines in the sky, you see each other, and just like how you know things in a dream, you know you can't enter the house because that's not what you're here for. You know you can't leave the yard because that's not what you're here for. You're waiting for something. But you are free to speak with each other as you wait to see what it is that you're waiting for. You do notice Yaz is not here, Morgan is not here, Logan is not here. But the five of you are, together.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Yes?
I guess so.
Did anyone Does anyone know anything else about why we're supposed to be here? All Logan said is that we have to do it.
I
We have
don't know.
to finish it?
I'm a little
They
less
have to leak
scared.
it.
If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I learned what the key is, but I don't know how that's helpful other than we're all here together and I'm very glad. And I think it's just that we stay together. I mean, it seems like we were already working on that. And I don't think we need to. I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything about it now, but just. At least until it's over. We should definitely try to stay together.
Luz, during this past 5 years, you mentioned doing a lot of research, a lot of paranormal type research, yeah? You hear notification on your phone from some website, some forum that you kind of signed up for updates, and there were never any updates. But you hear that notification. The notification is just a link sent directly to you, and it is from the username PIKE.
Pike, this name I know nothing about.
Nothing at all. Clicking the link brings you to an article, and I am sending you the high points of said article.
You shithead! Okay, I think at some point Luz just starts reading bits aloud. And is just kind of like, there's a thing called an egregore. If you give it, it's like an entity that gets made because people talk about it. So like if someone goes to some place and said that it's a bad, like if there's like bad haunted energy there, then eventually if enough people come and enough energy is expended saying that something's bad, the energy is going to manifest as a thing, and it's called an egregore. And so it basically gets power from belief like a fucking fairy. And then if you don't believe in it anymore, it loses its power. So we just...
Ignore it?
So.
Yeah, basically, we just can't be afraid. It escapes its control. It could escape its control and take its own control over a group without anyone to stop it. So it's like a thing you can manifest and make, and if enough shitty energy's gone into a place, then it's gonna manifest. So what was going on at Logan's house?
We know he was like bullied, but
Yeah.
that was just kids. I mean, that wouldn't have been in his house.
No, and if it was just like Morgan, it'd be like poltergeist instead of egregore. So it must have been someone else.
But he wanted to leave. That's all he wanted more than anything, was at least to not be in a place where, shitty people like that are all the time. And then it worked enough. And then for 5 years, we all treated it like a cursed place. And then got drunk.
Cursed place. Yeah. So it's our fault it's this way. So we have to figure out how to get rid of it. We just have to... This is gonna sound weird, but we have to like fill it with love and light.
Keys, yeah.
I guess.
Or just let it be nothing. At least.
Right. Take away belief and awareness, and the god will vanquish.
When I saw
It has
Logan,
power over its believers, so we just can't let it have power over us.
When I saw Logan, he said, I asked him if his heart was hurting, and he said, yeah. I don't know if it's just us, you guys.
Well, we have to get them to stop believing in it then. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you stop believing in something? I mean, like, it's like when someone says, don't think about the number 4. You think about the number 4. Like, what? How are we supposed to do this?
You have to prove that it's not worth thinking about it that way anymore. I mean, not to beat a dead planet, but they're bigger planets. Pluto's too small now.
Pluto's not too small, but I take your meaning.
At this point,
That's good. That's really good.
at this point, just like how you know things in dreams, you know the moment that you have been kind of waiting here for is approaching. You see that a school bus pulls up to the house. You see Logan get off of the school bus, holding his backpack straps. He doesn't seem to see you. You can see him. He does not seem to notice that you're here. You're watching some sort of memory. And Logan Pearson walks into the yard toward the house. And as he's doing this, the Logan that came here with you is now standing beside you. Morgan as well. Kind of standing with you, looking around at where you are. They're watching the same scene. A car pulls into the driveway. Just as Logan reaches the door, music blaring inside the car, and you see Morgan get out. Hey, punk. She greets Logan, pulling a box of stuff out of the car to bring inside. Guess what happened today? What happened today? Morgan opens the door and kind of holds her elbow up to let him in first. I think I made some friends. Oh, yeah? That's pretty neat. From your science club? No, from the bus. They stood up for me. As they disappear inside, all of you blink, and you are instead in the living room, watching them enter from the side. Stood up for you, and she kind of looks him over as if checking for bruises. That Justin kid picking on you again? Again, like he ever stopped. Logan mumbles and puts his backpack on the table. But, hey, some kids stood up for you. That's really nice. Who are they? Yeah, and he sits down and opens his sketchbook, which we can see actually has Morgan's name on the front of it. And he pulls out some colored pencils from the table. Kyle first. He likes Earth because of the moon, and I think that's really cool. And he's like, Kyle, is that kid that likes karate? And she is currently pulling a frozen pizza out of the freezer. Yeah, and Uzo drew a really cool diagram, and she's really smart and likes Saturn because of the rings. And Luz is so cool, and Ness and Ison, and there's like this excitement of like, oh my god, I have to somehow tell you about all of these cool people. And he goes on telling her about all of the stuff that happened on the bus, telling her about each and every one of you, and all the while, he is sketching each of you with your favorite planets on the same page. Morgan makes a Pearson's pizza with chicken nuggets and leftover mac and cheese from the fridge. And they sit at the small table and eat together, devouring almost the entire pizza before the front door slams. Morgan! She immediately closes her eyes. I didn't move the car. And she puts her slice of pizza down. What have I said about parking in the goddamn driveway? Their father walks in, wearing a black suit with a bald head. I'm sorry, Dad, I'll go do it right now. And she kind of moves to stand up, and he shoves her back down into the seat. Don't bother. I already parked on the curb, but if someone clips it, you're paying for it. Do you understand me? Yeah. And you, he looks at Logan and grabs the sketchbook. What have I told you about drawing at the table? I don't want pencil shavings where I eat my dinner. And he throws the notebook in the trash can. Dad, those are expensive. He's already using my old one. Look, she stands up and moves to grab the trash can, and in one quick move, while the camera focuses on Logan's face, you hear a hit. And Morgan stumbles onto the floor. The room is silent, and it's louder than any silence you've heard before. Leave it. Go to your room, both of you. I don't want to see you. I've had a long day. Logan's eyes are drawn to the floor, and he stands up, scooping his colored pencils into their box, not daring to glance at his sketchbook. Morgan stands up and follows Logan. They both walk past the spare bedroom, which is a home office, past their parents' bedroom, into the bedroom they share, with 2 small twin beds. You blink and you're in the room. And Morgan closes the door. Logan sniffs. Hey, don't worry about it, kid. I've so many old sketchbooks, I'll dig another one out for you, okay? Over time, that night, Morgan's face bruises, but it's summer break, so she doesn't have to worry about covering it up for tomorrow. She reads a couple stories to Logan, and we can see the covers of the books. Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass. I wish we had one. One what? A world all our own. I wish we could just fall into a rabbit hole, or into a mirror, into another place where bad stuff doesn't happen. Well, we'll need a white rabbit for that one, kiddo. I'll find the place all by myself, and I'll be the white rabbit for you. And all the kids that want a place of their own, like Kyle. You're a good kid. Let's get some sleep, okay? You know, dreams are basically like worlds all your own, aren't they? And Logan is starting to get under the covers. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe Wonderland is just where you go when you dream. Logan smiles. I like that. And they lay down. And they sleep. Until the clock says 12:50. You open your eyes just as Morgan wakes up in a cold sweat, heart beating in her throat, and Logan isn't in his bed. She hears him crying from the living room, and she jumps out of bed and sprints down the hallway without a second thought. You blink and you stand in the living room, and you watch as Mr. and Mrs. Pearson stand yelling at Logan, holding the sketchbook up to show Logan a specific page. Who have you shown this to, Logan? Answer me, now. I didn't show it to anyone, I promise. Morgan's eyes fall on the sketch, as yours do as well, and you see a drawing of 2 people. A mom and a dad. You also see a kid with a black eye. Purple is scribbled onto the face of the drawing, while also scribbled onto the fist of the father. But as all of you look at this, you immediately know Logan didn't draw it. Because Morgan was never good at faces. Dad, stop. That's my drawing, not his. We'll deal with you in a minute, he promises her, turning his attention back to Logan as he pulls up a fist, and then we just see Morgan. We hear her heartbeat in her ears. Eyes filling with tears, she turns, and she sees the hammer that sits on the kitchen counter. And she grabs it. And she swings. Everything goes dark for all of you. You see flashes, almost as if the lights are flicking on and off in the room. The hammer swings, you see fists screaming, yelling. a flash of red light and then silence. And you hear, "I think it's time to go to that place now, Morgan." And the clock says 12:57. As the house glows with bright white light that spills through it, out of it, and then the earth begins to shake. And as it shakes, you're slowly rumbled back into the scene we last left you. You're standing in the yard now. Aitin, you're back in your bathroom. You stand in the yard. Morgan and Logan are with the group of you, and Morgan immediately falls to her knees and throws up in the grass. And Logan is just standing there, kind of trembling a little bit.
I immediately hug both of them so tight.
Logan looks almost in trouble, like guilty kind of, but then also scared, confused all at the same time. But you see, he doesn't have the energy to hug you, but he grabs onto like the front of your shirt and just kind of squeezes it.
I think Ness crouches down in front of Logan and sees that look of guilt and just looks him in the eyes, puts their hands on his shoulders. Number 5, honesty and fairness. That was fair. Thank you for being honest.
You see his bottom lip kind of tremble a little bit, and like it looks like he's gonna say something, but he knows if he opens his mouth, he's just gonna start crying, so he just nods.
Big hug.
I guess Kyle would say, your parents are supposed to protect you. If they won't, then I will.
I think Luz kind of bends down next to them as well, and says, "Yeah, it's like Kyle said. You don't have to be somewhere else to be safe anymore. You can just be safe here with us."
I think the moment she's out of that mirror, she straps her leg on and she doesn't even care if her parents see her. She just runs for the house.
Eventually you probably hear Yaz first panting and running in this direction, and you look over and you see Aitin approaching as well.
I think Ness also tries to help Morgan up.
Trembling, but definitely grabs your hand and stands up.
They take like a bunch of stuff, like a snack and a pack of tissues out of their bag and hand it over to her. Kind of try to help her like wipe her face off while they just kind of squeeze her hand.
Thank you.
Whatever you decide to do, we're obviously going to support you, but you don't ever have to come back here again. And we're all going to forget this place. It's not going to, the way that you know it, it's not going to exist that way for very long. You're going to outlive the memory of all that. Just so you know.
Luz doesn't always know how to handle emotional situations, and kind of automatically, in a little bit of a joking way, but in a tone where you know that like if someone said yes, they'd do it, they say, "I'm okay with committing arson."
No one's asking any questions.
It's a little difficult because the way that the bricks, it's just it would burn at a different rate. It would be in operation, but we could do it, absolutely.
And
Number
Logan
11.
says, it wouldn't stop him. We have to stop him.
He is stopped. Nobody's asking questions. Be true to yourself. You are. If this is about belief, like Luce said, we all saw what happened. And I believe that you did what you had to do.
Yeah. I mean, they make iPhones that rot slower than this house will. So.
I'm sure we could talk to Christina's mom and convince her that the lot's worth more if the house is destroyed. Or my mom can. I can convince my mom, I bet.
But what happens when I dream? He's still there. The house is just a house.
I'm gonna kneel down in front of him and say, I used to dream a lot about when that car hit me. It would be like playing on repeat, and it's not the same. Of course, it's not the same, but it doesn't have any power over you anymore, just like that car doesn't have any power over me. We can overcome anything together. And I'll look at Morgan and everyone else. We're all here for both of you. No matter what he says, when you're asleep, when you're dreaming, doesn't matter. He can't do anything anymore.
You're in control there. Not him.
Will you go with me when I tell him?
Go anywhere, kid. You're stuck with us now.
He looks at Morgan. Morgan is avoiding every eye contact possible right now. But she feels him looking and kind of looks down at him and just gives a little nod, closes her eyes. And he holds up his hand and she grabs onto it. And he kind of glances at all of you and then begins walking toward the house one more time.
Ness doesn't let go.
You see, it's the new version of the house, the rebuilt version. But as you're approaching, there are no bricks. The windows aren't even busted out anymore. They're fixed. But as soon as Logan opens up the door, he moves as if he knows exactly where he needs to go. And you see him walk and turn to look in the gold-framed mirror that is still there, up on the wall. He looks in, and he says, I remember who you are now. And he waits. And you see, almost as if like coming out of shadow, you see the faceless take shape on the other side of the mirror. You're not a monster. You're just a person. And my friends, and he points back at all of you, they told me I don't have to be afraid of you anymore. So, I'm not. They came for me and they saved me, and I don't glances back at all of you again. I don't need this place anymore. I want to stay here. And I want to be with my friends. And you see what looks like the papier-mâché mask of the Faceless begin to melt, like the houses, like the origami animals. The papier-mâché melts off of the face of Logan's father. And he stands, expressionless. And then he's gone. And the house falls silent. And as soon as this happens, you hear the normal sounds of a storm outside. Not the roaring like you heard before, you just hear rain slamming down. And you hear what you swear are the sounds of the cars crashing back down onto the street itself. Metal kind of crunching. It takes only the amount of time from you to walk. As you walk from the living room to the front door, the storm dissipates in that short amount of time. But as you're looking out, you see there was in fact a storm, and it was very real. You see cars have been slammed into other cars. Glasses shattered. Stop signs are missing. Fence posts have been blown out. A massive storm rolled through here. And you stand here in the yard of the old Pearson residence, together, under the smell of the air just after a storm. Doors are beginning to open as parents and adults are beginning to look around to see what is going on. But Logan looks around at all of you instead and says, Why are we in a yard? Morgan lets out a noise somewhere between like a cry and a laugh. It's better that you don't remember, kid. And she just pulls him in and gives him the biggest hug. Logan looks very confused.
We should all get somewhere. You can't be doing this more than once. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't really want to go back home by myself. Does anyone want to?
Yeah.
Great. Let's sleep over. in my
Yeah.
room.
And everyone gets up, and the camera stays as we watch everyone walk down the street to head to Luz's house. Parents and adults are rushing, some of them trying to check on you. Some of them try to see if you are wounded, what is going on, and you just kind of walk off in your not quite stupor, not quite confusion, in your daze of the events that took place somewhere between here and Wonderland. Almost another week has passed. Most homes are in various stages of repair, as the massive storm had blown through. There were no reports of the homes being lifted from their foundations. No tornado was confirmed in the area. The official title was a freak windstorm. Seemed to win the what the fuck happened vote by the town, and that's what the authorities and the news reports will say. But 6 teenagers and a 9-year-old know the truth. So the scene fades to black. And then it fades back in. We see Morgan. And she says, "Will you stop moving your face like that, please?" And we see that Morgan is sitting on Luz's desk. not on the chair, on the desk, with a sketchbook in her arms, and she is sketching sketching Luz, practicing faces specifically. We see the sketchbook itself has multiple versions of Luz's face in various expressions. Not perfect, but she's still practicing. She's getting better, so naturally, she hates it. Stop, what? Will you pick one face? Just one, just not that one. Any other face, any other face. Okay, alright, yeah, that's great, yes.
And perfect. Oh my god.
You hear the pencil on the sketchbook. And then you hear, I promise you, this is not an artist's translation of what I think you look like. This, and she turns it so that you can see it. This is terrible. You don't look like this. I just want you to know that, in case you were wondering. You know, if you were times. You know, if you were ever having a bad mirror day, oh, those sound different now. If you were ever having a bad, if you were ever not feeling so hot, take a look at this drawing. Take pleasure in the fact that you do not look like this creature that I have depicted here on this page.
I don't know. I think I have. I think I'm turning into a monster. And I like try to like chase her around with a weird.
I think there's like a beating you with a sketchbook. I need to. Okay, hold on. Let me try one more. Flips the page. Hold that pose for 10 minutes. And just starts sketching again. It's quiet for a moment, minus the scratching of the pencil. And then you're not sure if it's a test to see if you'll hold the pose or if it's a genuine question. But she says, did I tell you Uncle Cooper hired one of those therapists that like comes out to your house? I don't think anyone besides us really realizes how literal Logan's demons were, but you know, they're trying. And it's helping. I can't talk about everything. And
yeah,
kind of like sketching a little bit.
Smiling during this conversation. You have the idea, but like that's good. I mean, I think she'd put you away if you told her everything, but
there's just a lot that I can't say, you know? And there's like intense concentration on the page right now. This is garbage. And just like lets it drop down to the floor. Absolute garbage. I'm just never gonna be able to do faces.
Well, not everyone is a face artist, you know? Some people do like hands or landscapes or fruit. Do people still draw fruit?
I don't know. I'll just go door to door and be like, hey, can I draw your fruit?
Some people might take that as like a you know.
She leans down, picks up the sketchbook, kind of starts flipping through, and there are a few other sketches in it, and she flips to one, and she says, you know, I saw other people in that world. Do you think they were real?
I mean, I don't know. Like when you dreamed and you saw, like me, did I seem real?
I mean, yeah, and you were, so I guess they are.
Did they seem real in the same way?
Oh yeah. And she kind of like lowers the sketchbook so you can see it. You see people sitting in a circle in like fold up metal chairs.
That just looks like AA or something.
I mean, yeah, it was like this group therapy session. I can't look at Adam and Farrah right now. I don't know. I hope they're okay if they were real. I hope they found a way out like I did, or like we all did, I guess.
And we could start an egregore killing task force and like go around and free people from mirrors and shit. It's cooler than college.
It's so much cooler than college.
or,
I'm in.
technical
Where do I
school.
sign?
I'll make a contract.
You grab the
I gotta
sketchbook.
make sure there are lines for everyone.
And then as like that sketch or that contract is being written by the two of you, the camera kind of pulls back and onto our next scene.
So I think Aiton makes a very conscious effort to just spend more time with this group before she kind of got, as we all do, whirled away in parents' expectations and requirements and rebuilding herself and all of these things. And it was never a conscious thing to leave, but time, right? And so I think her epilogue is more of a montage of blowing off dance class to go to the dojo with Kyle and like going into the woods with Ness and like playing around with like how Uzo has been fixing her prosthetic this entire time, but she's never really like paid attention fully, and just spending an aggressive amount of time with Luz and just really being present in a way that she has not been, especially because two of them are graduating sooner than she wants them to.
I think Uzo starts to like it's always been very clear what they do, although I think like as the sort of gadget person it's super duper lonely. And most of the time they work alone unless it's to deliver what they make for people. And they don't really like their relationship with their parents is fine, their home life is fine, it's just quiet. So I think they've started to take that last vision of the key being all of their friends. Like they're still doing gadget stuff, but it's more towards like, hey guys, I like kind of built us our own app to communicate. It's not like super legal and it does work in every country, but that's because they don't know about it. So don't worry, it doesn't matter where we go, anywhere for college or whatever, we're just kind of saying we could all kind of stay connected and it'd be really cool. And I think they just kind of focus on like non-physical ways to keep their friends together with technology. But I think there is a very like poignant beat in the middle of the summer where they I think they invite Ness over to their like workspace and it's like, okay, and they're like on the outside of the door. I think everyone's invited, but this is specifically to Ness. I've been thinking about your rules, mostly just that you have them. And I think it might be nice if I applied some of them to my workspace. And I would like to ask you for help in doing that.
When you say some, you mean all 12. Technically now there's more like 14.
Okay.
There's 12 real ones, and then there's like 2 that like I just made.
Oh, but they're your 2.
Yes.
Okay, sure. All 12 to 14.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. And I think opens the door and I think it just fades to white because it is a mess in there. And that is the rest of the day.
The second Ness walks in, they just like start touching everything.
Yeah.
Picking stuff up, putting it in other places. Like they just immediately start like tidying things. Is there a reason this is here? No?
Oh, no. You don't keep. I mean, how that burned in a very specific way, and I kind of need to keep that so I know not to do that kind of reaction again.
All right. I just still gotta touch it. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You can touch it. It's safe to touch. Don't eat it. Safe to touch.
Okay. It's good you told me that because it looks. I won't touch it.
Yeah. Good. Also, I'm not saying I don't think Pluto is a planet. It's just not recognized publicly as a planet.
I mean, when has that stopped anybody? I'm not recognized publicly as, a lot of things. That doesn't keep me from being a fucking bomb wilderness scout. And they take out their pen. They're just like,
It's good. It's just, sometimes I don't want to seem like I don't know what's going on in the scientific community, but I know for us Pluto's real. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, if somebody said that you didn't know what was going on in the scientific community, I feel like they would get a swift kick in the pants from Kyle.
This is true. That's true. Okay. Pluto's real, I'll say. She says it loud. Pluto's real. Okay.
That might be number 15.
Good 15.
At this point, I think everyone else is kind of there and listening. And
Yeah.
Morgan, who is chewing on a Twizzler, it's a pull apart Twizzlers, but she's a monster and just biting all of it all the way down. And it's like, write that down. That is number 15. I'll remember that one.
Wait, which one is be kind? Quick.
10.
Damn it!
Oh, I was
gonna
Sorry.
say 4.
trying to trigger.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad someone knew because I sure as fuck didn't.
The love that Ness turns to Uzo with is like unbridled. Like the eyes are like actual cartoon hearts and they're just like they got a little misty.
I'd say it was a couple of days after all this stuff went down. I think when everyone's hanging out at some point, probably without Morgan and Logan, and Kyle will kind of go up to everyone, just be like, "Hey guys, I wanted to tell you something. My parents are getting a divorce. It's kind of scary, because I don't really know what's going to happen. And, I think it's good, but, I just didn't really know what to do. I don't really know what's going to happen and stuff, like, my mom being gone and my dad and everything, and I think he just kind of like goes on and on and on, and he's like, I didn't, everything's just sort of felt kind of good with everyone kind of coming back and being focused on something, but I was just like really scared, but the stuff that Logan did and everything that Morgan went through, it felt like, it's kind of stupid to be scared of something like this. It's like so small.
I reach up and just hold his hand and don't say anything.
But yeah, I just I guess I'm glad I'm just glad you guys are, I guess, gonna be there and stuff.
Not stupid. No problem is small. If it matters to you, it's big to us. And I think, it's hard to say what's going to happen for your mom and dad, but I know what's going to happen for you. You're going to keep having kick-ass friends. And we're going to spend a bunch of time together. And my brother's room is free, and it has all kinds of cool stuff in it. You're not allowed to look at the stuff under the mattress. I mean, I guess you could. I'm not allowed to look at it, but there's stuff under his mattress you can look at if you want.
Okay.
And you just what they're doing isn't your fault. So you just keep being awesome.
I just like, been fighting for so long. I didn't think I'd care about it at all, but it's just weird. But I don't know. I guess it's just I'm glad we're all friends again, and that we fought a monster. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this seems easier to do.
I feel like this is a group hug moment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If we could break another mirror about it too, if that helps.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it does.
I know we were going through like a dream and shit, but I really wanted to punch his dad.
Yeah.
It's just so many times.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this is a dream.
Oh yes.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, there's a place in the forest that people just like take their shit and leave it. And I go there sometimes and I smash things.
Love that place.
I think I'm gonna like the scouts.
Yeah.
I think we see the other sort of scenes that we see with Kyle is I think probably for I guess any sort of summer activities, he's probably kind of just following Morgan and Logan around a lot. It just sort of invites himself. He's just kind of like a dog following them around as like a little, just like a protector basically. Because he's just upset for a long time. It's like anyone's giving him shit. They're just like, probably doesn't say anything, but clenches fist, stands taller. And I would say at some point during the summer, actually, his sister Lizzie finishes college and moves back. And gets like an apartment. And basically he's staying there for a little while all of this stuff is going on. So that helps with a lot of stuff. And I think, yeah, there's probably scenes intercutted with him doing karate stuff with Ness and then doing scout stuff with Ness. And just, yeah, trying to, keep everyone together during this it's really weird, difficult time that kids go through. And I don't think there's really much future stuff beyond the summer that we see for Kyle, but we see that a kid going through a divorce has good support and friends.
I think for Ness, the first scene you see is like this pretty handsome looking, but also very beautiful looking young person, like a young man, probably 2 years older than Ness. Clearly a sibling, like they have the same hair, except his is cropped like kind of short and like long in the front. And he's got like this very like metal looking kind of outfit situation on, a tiny bit of like very soft stubble on the chin. And he's like lugging equipment into the dojo. And like I'm helping my brother like take all the shit in there, and his bandmates like all file in and they set up like their set. And like Ness like puts a blindfold on Kyle and like they're playing, and like Ness is like, rock out! You can rock out! You're good, you've got mats! Just try it, just try it. And like trying to like get you to do like some cool kicks and stuff. And like try to like understand like how you could be a part of my brother's band. Like I tell him all about you and stuff. And then there's like another scene of Morgan, and like Ness is kind of like has like Logan as like a piggyback and is like walking them through the forest. And when they get to like the special spot, like all the friends are there. And Ness gives them a little badge that has the little bravery patch on it. And is like really excited, like a little field notes book, and in like the front page it has like all now 15 scout rules written, like handwritten there in like their best jelly pens. And I think there's another scene of Ness going to Aiton's house with like a thing of candy and just kind of trying to like make apologies for like being a troublemaker and handing over this gift, and like Ness's dad like with one hand on her shoulder like apologize. And definitely some scenes with Ness at Luz's house practicing dancing because like the prom is coming and they don't know what the fuck to do, and they like have like their like a bit of their like tuxedo on for the junior prom. They're trying to like work out outfits and stuff, and they're like testing like how stretchy, like how the movement in the thing. And
Luz
then
is
definitely
sitting on the couch calling out things for you to try next. Do front kick.
like Ness is like, huh! And immediately like falls to the ground. And then I think there's another scene in Uzo's lab where like Ness shows up with like a really horribly cut like grouping of flowers, and like just like not looking at their face, just like hands out the flowers, and it's like got like a little like promposal thing on it, like we can go as friends. When we hang out, I just feel I feel real tough, and we can go as friends. It's fine. We are friends, and I picked these flowers because my mom said, but I should have just gotten you like cool parts for your stuff. I've got some change and some screws in my pocket. And then like leaves them next to the flowers.
How much of what you said is set in stone, sort of rules? How much is rules? What is a rule? Did you say a rule?
Right now I'm using number 9, which is think outside the box. I was thinking if I got you some things that you liked, you would want to go with me, but you don't have to. We could stay home and fix stuff instead.
No. I think it would be to the scientific community considered thinking inside of the box to go as friends.
I think like Ness like is puzzled for a minute and stumped, and then like their whole face just like starts to turn red from like the bottom of their chin like all the way up to their hairline, where they realize like what you're trying to say, and they just like nod and like refuse to look at you until the scene ends.
I think the last thing Uzo says is Berkeley's gonna love this. and just takes them to the prom. The scientific community does love it.
Luz is trying to like, how do I say this? Now that like a conversation with Aiton has been had, and like all of the stuff that they've said to Logan and Morgan about like you're not alone, I think Luz is kind of working on the future because it's not as scary anymore, and they start to actually kind of get interested in what their mom's been doing, but not in a useful way. They're kind of interested in it in like a, okay, in the future I might want to do this. What are some things I can apply right now? And one of the things they know about are like emotional support animals, and the only animal they have is Arson the gecko. So they go to Uzo, and are like, Uzo, can you please help me build Arson a portable cage where she won't like dry out or get sick or die, but I can like take her places in case Logan or Morgan needs her, or like or like Kyle or Aiton, or I mean Aiton always has Yaz, but sometimes maybe Yaz doesn't come with us, or if you need Arson or Ness.
Yeah. And I think as soon as the way that papers are already flying as you're talking, but yes, I think they designed them what is kind of just like a huge pill shape.
Yes.
It's like breathable on the top, but it's kind of like a little clutch bag for them.
Amazing.
It's wearable. It's very cute.
Luz like really wants to be a part of like building things because they like to do things with their hands, but they do not have the focus to keep like being useful. So they probably like do a couple things and then get distracted and like go off and see Morgan for a little bit, or like go off and like throw a ball for Yaz for a little bit and then come back and they're like, oh right, this step, I remember you telling me about this step, and they try to help, and then like
Yeah.
Kyle's doing something cool outside. You're like, oh,
I think there's just like, again, stations with like a post-it that's like, dear Luz, if you find this pile, please crush everything in this pile. Thanks. Hearts.
Yeah, and I think after that, Luz kind of becomes like, kind of takes charge of being like, okay, I know my friends need places to be, so I'm gonna make places to be. So they like start like trying to schedule things out. Like on Monday, we're all gonna go to the lake, and on Tuesday, we're gonna like watch I-10 dance and try to like learn from her. And on Wednesday, Kyle's teaching a class, so we're all gonna take Kyle's class. And Thursday, and like just kind of, and like Friday, Ness is doing a nature walk, so everyone bring your magnifying glasses. Just starts trying, like that's the one thing they've continuously been able to organize all summer is we're all gonna be together and we're all gonna do things that are like of interest to everyone. And then I think last, they spend a lot of time with Morgan even when the others are busy. I think at first it starts out as like, oh, you're gonna try and draw me, cool. And then it becomes, okay, well now you're gonna try my thing, which is sprints. I'm on the track team. You should learn how to do track with me. Hey, come train with me. Like really early in the morning. And like not really knowing how to spend time with her in a normal way, but wanting to like spend a little extra time with her. And also like kind of steering into their big siblinging of Logan a little extra because they realize that they haven't really had anyone to take care of, and now they have someone to take care of and they like it.
We see a few different scenes. Logan is right back to where he started, 9 years old, but his demons have been defeated. And he begins sketching again. And he hangs out with all the cool kids, especially Kyle. Morgan eventually gets a job at one of the local grocery stores, and that has been helping kind of save up money to pay for extra classes for Logan to take. To learn just a little bit more karate. He promises Kyle he's going to be as good as him in, like, by the end of the summer. Morgan is also seen, you know, taking walks through the woods with Ness. Almost every time asking, what kind of tree is that? What kind of tree is that? What plant is this? What's this one? Just consistently asking. And occasionally there's like, sorry, I'm talking so much, I'll shut up. Scout's honor. Ooh, what's this one? And then there's like an immediate...
Nothing but patience and love.
And then we see scenes of Morgan being dragged out of bed at stupid o'clock in the morning to go run. She's like, I'm sorry, you do this for, like, fun? You run for fun at early o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, there's no one out, and you go fast as fuck. We end at that tree, and then Luz just goes.
Ouch! And just takes off after you as well. Make an athletics roll.
I'm using a Benny.
You know what? Me too.
I'm using another Benny.
Fuck, me too.
I'm using another Benny.
Goddamn bennies y'all got.
13.
Oh
Good day
man,
to be a
I
Benny
rolled so
dragon.
well, but not that well. So yeah, you race to the tree. You beat her by a bit, and she finally gets to the tree, and she's like, "No, you know what? I was right. That sucked."
That's fair. Thanks for trying it, I guess.
So did you know that Ness invited Uzo to the prom?
Yes, I did. I have to keep a very tight lid on my emotions or I'm gonna scream right now in the morning, and given that it's like 6:15, people are not gonna be happy if there's someone just screaming outside at 6:15 in the morning, but you should know that internally I am scream.
I don't think I've ever understood a sentence so well before.
Do you want to come? You're coming with us, right? Like, we're going. You're going, right?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You have to come. Come on.
Don't you have to like dress up for prom?
Well, yeah, but like we could go shopping for like really shitty dress up clothes, like some really really old ones.
Like a
Pick each other's outfits. Like I can pick your tie and you can pick my pants. That was weird. Suspenders.
that sounds fun. I'll race you back to the start and just like pushes you and just runs away.
You're going the wrong way. Wait, Morgan.
As we're seeing all of these scenes unfold before us, we kind of hear a few of the words that Logan had said that day on the bus. During various scenes where Logan is watching Morgan laugh and smile with her new friends, sketching them while he can, smiling to himself at her happiness, he had said, everyone is exactly who and where they're supposed to be. And he was right. They both exist where they are supposed to be. They're happy, they're free, they're loved, and everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. The old Pearson residence was destroyed, demolished, and instead of rebuilding, the city built a park on top of it. Nothing was recovered from the destruction of the house. No brick, no shard of glass. It was all disposed of. A company came to help demolish the house and clean up the debris. The Mars Corp trucks were in and out of that town for weeks before it was finished. And that is the end of Through the Looking Glass, and the end of so many other stories, and the closing of so many other doorways.
Luz calls a meeting of the friends one day and has like these papers stacked in front of them trying to look very official, and they have you all like have you sit all around the table. Like there's all of your favorite drinks are at each spot. Logan's chair has a little pillow on it, so he's like on a level with everyone else. And Luz like goes to the front of the head of the table and goes, I know you're wondering why I've gathered you all here today. I have a proposition. We kicked a monster's ass. I'm just gonna say it. Logan specifically kicked a monster's ass.
Kicked a monster's ass.
So
Yes.
brave.
So good.
Kicked it in the face.
Yeah.
That's just one monster, and Igor is just one kind of monster. So, my proposal to you all is, and they slam down a stack of papers, and you can't see, like, there's, like, their hand is over all of the quote-unquote jargon that they've put together on their laptop from, oh, what's it called? A template. But at the top, you see in, like, big red letters, it says Monster Hunters Club, and at the bottom you see spaces for 7 signatures. And they go, there's more shit out in the world. And Morgan said that there were more people stuck where they were. My proposition, fuck the education system. Fuck going to college. We go hunt monsters.
And I
you
think-
hear like the click
Yeah.
of a pen
Yeah, and like
from Nessa's side of the table.
Morgan like scoots the pen container towards everybody, and you just immediately. And I think that click of the pen, the screen goes dark. You can say it.
Fuck you, Kerri.
Fuck you, Kerri.
Peace
In a lot of
frame.
different
Yeah.
ways. Like, not just.
Hey, the fuck, dude?
Fuck you, though. Like, I'm grateful for your efforts and your work.
It was very beautiful, but also, how dare you?
I'm happy to be here, but go ahead and log off
Yeah.
and fuck you. Well, he had to die for the prophecy, though. It's kind of a Lord of the Rings thing.
This
Okay,
is the
I'm stopping this right now.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. Nope.
It would have been so funny if you're like, and the company that came to clean up and build the park, Coca-Cola, and then and we're like, oh, okay, thank God, thank God. I'm just imagining someone walking into a room, like someone's encountered something weird, someone walks into the room, shuts the door, they're in a black suit, a suitcase slams down onto the table, Kyle leans in,
In the karate. No, in the karate still.
Underneath the suit.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I can't do this, and then just like walks out.
Tag in,
Takes
tag
a
in.
briefcase.
Someone else tag in from the other side of the mirror.
Rule number 15. Pluto is
No,
real.
by then it's rule number 23. We just
Hey,
added
don't be
onto
a
it.
dick.
A 14-year-old kid comes into the room. All right, motherfuckers. It's Logan.
That's Logan. He drove me here.
We've been homeschooling Logan for the past 6 years.
He likes it.
Listen to me, I'm the good cop, okay? You don't want me to bring Logan in here. He's fucking crazy. He's fucking crazy. Let me at him. Let me at him.
All right, bitch.
I'll rip your fucking eyes out. Like, whoa, hold on, Logan, hold on.
Not quite
It takes
there.
3 of us to hold him back.
See how scrawny he is? He's a monster.
Monster. He's a monster.